Right on. So that beautiful launch was a typical auto launch, iNav auto launch from the FT Aero, and gotta love it. Anyway, this impromptu live stream is brought to you by the fact that everybody's gone to bed early. So I'm going to work on my Ranger 2000. And the last live stream I did, I had a hell of a time, and I've deleted it because I'm so embarrassed about all my swearing. But I was trying to solder connectors onto this. I ended up doing a different one with pins, but I've gone back to this one and put the wires on it. So I would like to work on that. So the first thing I need to do is put these little connectors, and I've taken these little connectors from a jumper kit, you know, some wire jumpers from electronics projects. So we're going to just solder those onto the end of these very fine wires that are on the end of here. So we're going to switch to this view here, and we're going to take this receiver off of the wing and set it on here. Excuse me. And we're going to fire up the soldering iron. This really is impromptu. So I was going to do a planned thing, but many hours ago I started messing with, well, it's a long story, but on a previous live stream, 1 or 2 live streams ago, when I was honored by Mark Hoffman's presence and my friend Andy's presence, my son was on there, and he asked me later if I had a chat. Where's my thing? Switcher. I have a monitor right over here. I don't think you can. Oh, yeah. There it is, right there. That monitor can be connected to this computer, and this computer has enough monitor outputs. But for some reason, and I fought with this for like all night long, I got a cable to hook the TV up, or this monitor up to that, and it doesn't work. And then I have other monitors here. So I tried any monitor, and then I had 2 different cables that I could try, because I got 2 different cables, 2 different length of cables, one for another project. It didn't work. It didn't work. So the chat's still over there, and I can't get this monitor to work at all. So I'm going to try to get a 4th monitor to work somehow, a different one, and I don't know. That's crazy. I bought the same video card that I used at work in the business office for somebody that wanted 4 monitors, and it easily accomplished the task. Okay. So what we're going to do is turn this over to here too, so you can see. Oh, we got to get a different view here. Is it that view? No. Is it this view? Yeah. Let's switch to that view. So what we're going to do is solder these wires. So we need to... This is an R9, by the way, an R9 Mini. There's the view from there. There's the view. It's very tiny. There's my thumb for reference. I mean, it is really small. So what we're going to do is we're going to solder the white wire to the white wire, the black wire to the blue wire, the red wire or whatever, purple to red, and the gray wire to orange. Does that sound confusing? Probably. So we'll strip these, and that's probably not enough. Probably 24. 24. I'll just stick them on like this. Stick them on like that. Then we're going to tin each one of these. Oh, I also got, just for fun, I've got some of these on eBay. And these are these 8th watt resistors that Keith, Bonafide Pirate Keith, from Louisiana, USA, used to make his JX Banggood servos, which I bought the same servos as he suggested. So one of these days, maybe tonight, we're going to take apart that. One of those, I have 2 of those servos. I bought 2 of them. Okay, now those are tinned. Now we can tin these. So we're going to strip them carefully. These are really thin. They're 30 gauge. This is the perfect thing, the perfect kind of wire, both for the servo project, Bonafide Pirates servo modification, and for the R9. So instead of 30, use 28. That works just fine on these strippers. I always try to do a bigger one first, just so I don't strip extra. These are nice silicone wires. And they actually are silicone. So I've bought some silicone wires from Banggood, these things. And these are not silicone, they're plastic. They say silicone, they're not. One of these days. I still like them because they're halfway decent quality, and they're good for a lot of just simple airplane wiring things. These ones you should twist. They're nice and fine. Oh, that one didn't twist. There. You don't want a bunch of little hairs coming out. We've been down that road. You don't want anything of the sort. I'm going to try to watch the chat, but I can't really. I should put it up in a big window in the middle. Let's see if we can do that in a minute. Okay, all those are done. So now we need a little heat shrink. I forgot to get that. Just for reference, my heat shrink. I have a nice, I've put up a new shelf. So I go over here. Got some heat shrink, different kinds and sizes. Yes, that's a Tundra over there. Okay, we should zoom in a little, huh? Okay. All right, heat shrink. Will this be too big, too small, just right? That'll be just right. Okay. So we need 4 pieces of heat shrink. About like that long. Okay. Then we will put them way on here. Blue, red, white. Why do you need 4 wires maybe? Because, or an orange. Because, maybe that would be a question. Because there's S-bus, there's power, ground, of course, S-bus and S-port. You would not need 4 wires if you were using smart port. Or F-port, I mean. F-port carries both things on one signal. Okay. Why don't I use F-port then? Well, I don't know. Early on, I was scared off by Andy's experience because he went into R9 before me, just as he went into iNav before me. And he had an issue or two with F-port, and I remember him having troubles. Okay, so here we go. What we're going to do, I wonder if we're even on camera. Are we? Right there? Yeah, we are. We can get in the middle more, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I just lost viewers talking. I think it's from 0 to -0. There's a less than 0 number of viewers in the room. There's the white wire. So now we're going to do red to this thing, which is red to me. I'm going to try to just hold it there. I can cut this one off a little bit, actually. So this, again, is for the Ranger 2000. The Ranger 2000, which is a 2,000 millimeter wingspan plane, as you can imagine from the name. It's a Bixler style plane. It's going to have this flight controller on it, the F722 wing. And we are preparing to hook this up. So after we get this hooked up, what we have to do, what we have to do, black to blue. We're going to flash the firmware on here. Oh, we don't have nearly that much. Flash the firmware on here. And I'll show you how to do that, assuming this works. And assuming this receiver still works after my fiasco of soldering the wires to it. And a previous live stream since deleted, since it was so embarrassing. There we go. This is such delicate wire that it's actually easier to solder because it stays stuck. So we should have the gray one left. Yes, the gray one. So I believe the white one is S-bus. We're going off of this. S-bus out. S-bus out too. I shouldn't have cut that, I guess, but it doesn't matter. There we go. Highly recommend this 30 gauge wire. I'm going to get some 28 gauge too and compare that. This is very thin though, and I suppose it's going to make it easier to run into the wings. So I guess I'm just going to use my lighter to fix that. So we'll just do one at a time. That should stay stuck. Okay, so now the next step is to flash this receiver with the firmware and then bind it to the model. And I have a single model that I think I've set up for this purpose. Oh, that's the wing one. I think I have a standard one too. Okay, so what we're going to do is this cable here, which I'm going to flash this receiver too. We'll flash this receiver first, since it's already hooked up. I'm going to flash two receivers, and we'll only bind one. Then I'll put this one in a bag saying already flashed, because I like to make sure that the firmware is the right firmware, because R9 is a pain in the butt if it isn't. So what we have here is the second R9 that I soldered in that live stream the other day. I gave up on this one, but then off camera I fixed it, I think, I hope. So the yellow with the black line, that one is the S. Is it S-bus? S-bus, but I don't want S-bus. I want S-port. So I picked the wrong one, I think. Oh, we're going to have to do a continuity test again. That's what happens when you use two wires of the same color. I think that the one that's hanging out is the S port. S port, F port, continuity test. So that should be the second one. We're going to go to the second one here. And then to this. Yep. Not that one, that one. Okay, I got the right one hooked up. Ouch. Ouch. Gosh. Okay, so what we're going to do is get our transmitter. Which is in my travel, go out and fly pack. which by the way is a ancient from 2016 Multi-Star Elite backpack from Hobby King. It was on sale for like $40 one day, and I bought one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Tyrannus here. I'm gonna change my glasses. We're gonna take out the external module. And I've put in a little sticker in there to remind me. So the S is for S port. And this is S port, ground, and power. So we just take that and we shove it in there on the bottom connectors with the white on the bottom. And that goes to the second one, which is S. I don't know if you can see that or not. S port. That's the second little port there, the second pin. S port, and that's how you're going to program it. So we're going to set this here, and then we got to get into the radio menu. I can't remember how to do that. Turn it on. You know what? I'm going to unplug it to make sure I'm not powering the external module with gibberish first. So we're going to turn it on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
It's going to be looking
Switch
for
warning, horizon mode, air mode, situation normal.
We're going to change it to a different model.
Middle rates, throttle disabled, situation normal.
Now I'm going to turn it off. Now I'm going to plug it back in. White pin on the bottom. Red pin on the top. Black pin in the middle. And that goes to the white pin goes to the yellow. The black pin is the purple. Oh. I'm going to make sure. I got to look at this with my better glasses. That color is gray. The gray is going to black. And the purple is going to red. That's the way it should be. Purple's going to red. Okay, so this is all hooked up right. We're not going to blow up our receiver here. We're going to turn this on.
Welcome to OpenTX. Middle rates, throttle disabled.
And then we're going to long press the menu button. And then we're going to page and go down to firmware. Or up to firmware. My down button doesn't work so good. Enter. Then we're going to go to R9 Mini. And then we're going to long press enter. And we're going to flash external module. That's what that is. External module. Flash external module. Hold it down. Oh, it's writing. So it'll do that for a few minutes. Guess we can set this down like this so you can see. This is totally tilted. Let's turn it that way. That's the bottom. Sorry, folks. So it's writing the firmware. So I just keep it on there, and I just keep that one version. And so I just flash. I have the version, the firmware for this and the other R9 that I have, that main big one. And those are the only two R9 type receivers I have. And then I've already flashed the R9 module. So as long as now, if I have to end up getting the OTA ones that I can still flash with this firmware, there is a version of this firmware for that. I think it might be the exact same firmware. I'm not sure. The FreeSky firmware ecosystem is totally hosed, and if you're starting out in this hobby, do not, I repeat, do not get FreeSky R9. Get Crossfire, get one of the new long range. So you can see I have 3 firmwares in this folder. Maybe you can't see, but I have 3 firmwares in this folder. The R9, that's the module. That's this. Then I have the Mini. That's what we just flashed onto this. And then I have the R9M. Oh, no. The R9 is the other receiver. The R9M is the module. Excuse me. Okay, so we're done. We're done here. So we can exit. We can unplug this. So now we have flashed the firmware and we know that this is good. So now we're going to do it again. But this time we're going to hook it up to this receiver. So I'm going to pull all these pins out of here. And remember that the FS port on this one is the orange one. The orange goes to white. Oh my gosh. These cheap ass ones from Banggood. Okay. Then the ground is the gray. I'm going to use my better glasses here. I'm going to turn this off again. Okay, so red is going to purple. And then black is going to the gray one. Then once again, we're going to take this and plug it in with the white on the bottom. And so we plugged it in there. Maybe we should go more wide. Ooh. Okay, so now we've plugged in this receiver. So let's see if it works.
Welcome to OpenTX. Middle rates. Throttle disabled. Situation normal.
Okay. So now we're going to long press menu, page, long press page. And we'll go up from the bottom, firmware, enter, R9 Mini. We'll go up, long press enter, flash external module. Long press flash external module. I don't know. It's writing. So guess what? It works. I didn't hose it with all my soldering mess. Just goes to show you, even if you're still careful, even if you're screwing up, you can still correct it. Let's see. Can we zoom this? We can. Should have zoomed it. Sorry folks, I don't know how to YouTube. Although I got a good compliment from my Okay, turn it this way, move it over here, and then the receiver down here. That's how we would do it. Don't screw this up. Just leave everything alone. It's writing firmware. I see it's off picture because it's covering it up. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . So there's no way to look at the see what version of firmware is on there, so you're just kind of screwed. Now this one we're going to bind. Then we're going to hook it up to the, it's done. So now we can exit. We can unplug this. And just unplug it. And turn this off. Now we're ready to go to another fun phase of this project, which is actually putting it into the wing. And that's the part that we're going to do next. No, we're going to bind it first. One more step. Then we'll put it into the wing. So to bind it, what do I do to bind it? To bind it, all we need to do is power it up. So, let me see what I have here. I have my little thingamajiggy. And that is, I always forget where it is, because I don't use it all that often. I think it's in here. Nope. Nope, it's not in here. Nope, not in here. I need to take inventory of this little thing, though. Is it in here? Nope, that's the SMA stuff. It's in the last place I checked. I need to get two of them. One for my workshop drawer. I think it's in here. It's probably in this bag. Called programmers. What I'm looking for is the switch. I have a little switch because I hate trying to turn it on and plug it in. I might have to do that if I can't find my little switch. Nope, it's not in here. Where is it? These are all my little programmers of various types. Must be in this other section. Or I did put it in my test drawer. Let's see. Let's look and see. This is the test drawer. We're going to need this. Nope, it's not in here. Not in here. Sorry, folks. It must be in here somewhere. Now I have to grab all this crap out of here. Oh, there it is. I just found it. This is my switch, and I should have two of these. And why it's in that bag with this stuff, I don't know. Why this stuff is in that bag? Well, maybe, I don't know. Those are spare antennas. And then a battery strap, which should be with the battery straps. Okay. So what we have here is a contraption. A very maniacal contraption. So what we have is a 5-volt power supply from this spec. And this spec goes into this ground power. Goes like that. And then this gets switched off. This goes in the test drawer that we just had out, which is where, right there. This business, that also goes in the test drawer. Okay, so let's do this. So this, all we're going to do is power this up and bind it. How do we do that? We take the power, plug it into the power. And we take the ground, and we hook it up to the ground. Okay. Then we take the other end of this power, ground, and then we take our shop battery and we will flip the switch. So how are we going to bind it? So what we're going to do is turn this off. First, let's just double check. Power is red. Red is the middle. And that is going to red. And that is going to red to red. So let's test it. See if it turns on without blowing up. Let's flip the switch and it'll be a red blinking light. Yay! Okay. So now what we want to do is be able to push this button while we flip the switch. It's such a tiny little button. Wow, did we just break it? There it is. Okay. So now what we're going to do is go back over to here. Put the external module back in here. Then we're going to turn this on.
Welcome to OpenTX. Middle rates. Throttle disabled. Situation normal.
And we're going to go down to standard iNav.
Switch warning. Horizon mode. Air mode. Situation normal. All fucked up.
And then we're going to go to menu or page. Then we're going to go where's the binding? There it is. Okay, so we're going to go to external RF. R9M. Enter. Channel 1 through 16, receiver number 0. And then we're going to go to bind. This is the part I don't get. Why is it channel 1 through 8 telemetry on, channel 9 through 16? Okay. So now we got to do this. We got to press this little button while turning the switch on. And it got a green light, so that means we got a bind. So that means we can exit. And turn this off. Yep, we're bound.
Telemetry lost.
Now that we have done that, we're going to depower that. Then we're just going to make sure that my wings still are bound, because I'm a little iffy on this whole receiver number thing still, even though Joshua Bardwell once explained it to me. Okay, so now we're going to go to, we're going to the wing one.
Switch warning. Horizon mode. Air mode. Situation normal. All fucked up. Lights
See,
on.
why does that one buzz so much more than the other model did? They were both R9. Okay, we're still bound to that. Okay. As soon as it's really crossed from the other one, it makes the most noise. Okay, so now we have bound the receiver. That's excellent. We're making progress. So now comes the fun part. We're going to start planning, at least. I don't know how far we will get today, but we are going to plan the placement of this receiver in the Ranger 2000 wing. So the first thing we have to do is clean up the mess. Now I am going to put this in the testing drawer from now on. And I need to get more of those switches and make more of those. Okay, so folks, here we are. We have done this binding, soldering, connecting, firmware updating, everything. Not in that order exactly. And now we will switch to number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Over here, we have our beautiful Ranger 2000 wing. And what we're going to do is I have done some pre-planning here. And I have marked where I think it should go. So this needs to go vertically through the wing. And so what I'm trying to do is place this in an area not right next to the servo, but that's kind of close to that servo. Didn't really think about that when I was planning that out, did I? I was thinking it was going to be halfway between these two servos. That's okay. This is going to be a little longer than that. Okay, so we're going to put it right here. That's why we have our planning, right? So let's do that again. We don't want that. We want it kind of in between the two servos. There's another servo here, but it's not there. But it may be in the future. we want it at least a little bit away from that. You can see the fuselage is going to be over here. So that's a good distance from that. I think we'll move it a little bit more. Right like that. And we're going to put it somewhat near the spar, but not right next to it. So about there. This little piece of paper tells me from the corner of the receiver where the antenna is going to break through the wing. So we are, of course, going to place we'll place the antenna first, I think, shouldn't we? Yeah. So then these wires are going to go past this servo hole, and they're going to angle down like that. Then they're going to go like this. So it didn't end up that much longer. That's good. That's perfect. Perfect. So what we're going to do, I think, and oh my God, this is the scary part. We're going to zoom in here. We'll do some zooming. Yeah. Okay. We are going to get something ready. I gotta find that poker first. Give me a second, y'all. Y'all people out there. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see. Here, we're going to switch off for just 1 sec. Please stand by. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. Folk. Okay, so here we are. We're 1 hour into our no warning Tuesday night workshop live stream. And we're going to poke a hole for this antenna. And then we're going to very methodically dig it out. So where I want the hole is going to be basically right there. And here we go. We're just going to poke it right through. Slowly. I don't feel it yet. It's thicker than you think. Okay, there it is. So now that I have it on this side, I'm going to turn the wing over. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to poke it through this way. Straight through. Oh my gosh, I'm zoomed in way too much, aren't I? So let's zoom out. So we're poking it. We want it to be straight up and down pretty much, right? So now that we have that hole like that, there's probably many people who would say, use a barbecue skewer or something. Okay. Now we're going to take this, figure out which way we're going to put the button out. Of course, it goes this way. And now we're going to take the ends off of this. Boink! Stick it through. So now comes the fun part. We're going to get some foam here. Got that foam. Here's my foam. Now everything's moved around. Just something so I can get it off the... Okay, so now that we, what we're going to do now is cut into it. Right like this. We're going to make a nice little mark. Okay, so now we're going to carefully I don't want to angle it so much yet because I want it to go straight in and sink in there a little bit. That one a little far, I think. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so that's basically what we want to take out. That little kind of teardrop shape. Then I'm going to Use the good old can also use pliers to pluck out a few of the pieces. Okay, so now let's see how it goes in. So we totally have to make this hole way deeper. What we want to do is get most of that, this center blob thing here, that thing, in the middle of the chord of the wing. I do say that blade is dull. This blade is sharp. So we'll just keep digging this a little bit. And we'll make another test fit. See, we have a lot of cord. We have a lot of available cord yet. Let's get it in a little deeper so we have less aerodynamic effect. I need to make it a little bit wider too. Okay, and then we're also going to start the cut. And right at the beginning, we're going to make it just a wee bit wider than it's going to be the rest of the way. Just to give it a little room. Okay. So see what we're doing is, oh, focus, focus. That's the top. I think I like it. We'll keep it just like that. glue it in on the bottom. Okay. So now we're going to move on from there. And we're going to draw a straight line. Carefully. Then we're going to just see if we can push it in there when the time comes. Okay, so first let's oh yeah, that's going to work out nice. All right, we can do it upside down. That's fine. Okay, so now we got to kind of map out how we're going to put this in. I think it'll be better this way. So okay, let's do it. So the first thing we're going to do is cut out then we're going to cut out this line right here, even though we're going to extend that for the wires. Let's just get it. Oops. Okay. going to be nice. So now I can see I'm making a lot of dents in here. That's for sure. All this kind of stuff I've kind of never really done before. But I like it. So what I'm doing is just bypassing the little plastic thing here. I'm trying to make a nice line. Am I digging up the top? No. Very delicate process here. Don't want to screw up the wing. It's not like it's foam board. It's so different working on this kind of stuff than it is the Dollar Tree foam board plane. Gotta plug in the glue gun. This needs a little dab of hot glue. Not much, just a little. But we are ready to stick that in there. Because what we're going to do is get it down to this point. Get this all sealed in. Once this part is sealed in, oh, you can't even see it all. Once this part is all sealed in, we will run the cabling. So let's take a review of what we've done while the hot glue gun warms up, and we have a total of 0 viewers. Welcome, 0 viewers. Oh, welcome back, 1 viewer. That is the top of the wing there. That is, it's not perfectly straight, but it's good enough. It's a lot straighter than it is on my wings. Straighter as in straight up and down. That is the bottom. Going towards. Didn't I widen this out? There we go. Wide. So that's the part we need to do still. We're going to do this part first. I'm going to glue this in, a little dab of glue right in there. Then we're going to bury this cable in, tape over this. Then we're going to work on this part. So we're 1 hour and 17 minutes in. So that's not too bad. It's not horrible. I soldered the connectors on. It's a lot better than all the time I spent wasted trying to fix the monitor over here. Okay, so we'll put our Tyrannus away. just move this over here a little. We're doing a little moving. Here, that's this part of my workshop down here. Workshop. It's really just a basement, folks. But I've taken it over as my workshop. After living in a one-bedroom apartment for, I think it was 5 or 6 years. 5 or 6 of the last my post-marital life. Then I moved in here with Louise, and we are very happy here. This is a mess. That's a mess. But there we go. And look how crooked the camera is. Yeah, this thing is very interesting. It's on a tilt. It does a lot of funky stuff. So I don't know if the hot glue gun is ready yet. It's probably not. No. Takes a little bit for this to heat up. I should have planned ahead. But I can talk about what's on the bench here. So this, where does this go? Okay, right. I hope that's the right place for it. These are the 8 watt 2K ohm resistors, 2.2K. And those, I believe, are the exact ones that were recommended by Keith, Bonafide Pirate Keith, who is a far more accomplished pilot. And I'm very envious of his flying situation. He lives out in the middle of nowhere, sort of, near a little town, Sharpsport or something. I can't remember the name of the little town now. In mid-southern Louisiana, I think, near the Mississippi. He's on a tributary of the Mississippi. And he can just take off out of his backyard. It's awesome. Anyway, he had these servos right here. No. Oh, there they are. So this servo, actually there's one in this box, isn't there? Because it's going to go on this plane. Hold on. Let me get the proper one. Back over here. Each one of my projects has a project box. I put all the parts that I'm putting in there. Oh, I've already put it in. So this servo, which is on Banggood, and it comes in this servo right here. Is that focusing? Focus. That servo. Oh, there you can see it, right? Okay, that is this servo here. We're going to take this apart. And take this apart and put the resistors in where Keith shows you. You can see it when you take it apart. We're also going to do what else Keith says to do, which is fix the wiring. And I have a little pieces of scrap wiring from wiring up the R9 Mini. So we have those right here. So that's what these are for. Isn't that exciting? Okay, I think we're ready for the hot glue gun now. I gotta put that back. Let's see. Well, it's spitting out hot glue. Okay, here we go, folks. We're just gonna put a little dab of hot glue right there. And then we're gonna stick this back down in there. Like so. That's all the glue. Oops, I spilled a little bit on the outside. And so now, let's carefully... What's going on? Oh. Jesus. We're never going to... We need some bigger blocks. Now that it's stuck in there. There, that'll work. Okay, so now we got to get this stuck in here. And we're going to do that by just trying to push it in. Carefully pushing it in. Oh, it goes in real nice. Remember, we're going to want it to go like this. Okay, so now we're going to, just like on the other end, we're going to make a little entrance space. And then, since it's popping out, I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there and hold it in. And shit, some spilled out here too. That's pretty much in there. Once I put a piece of tape over that part, there's going to be no bump whatsoever. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that indeed. So now what we're going to do is just put a piece of packing tape over it, right? We'll wait till we get this part done. Pretty happy with that, folks. Now, we're going to take this off. We don't need that on there either. Now, what do people do to stabilize these? Does it matter? Does it need to be perfectly up and down? Okay, we're getting there. Now the question is, how big of a groove do we have to put for these wires? Then what we're going to do is lift up this packing tape. And we'll put a new piece down. Ouch! I just hit my end of my finger on the glue gun. Maybe we should turn that off. I'm not sure I'm done with it though yet. Okay. Now we got to stick these wires in there. I guess the way to do it, I think we should take the power and ground and twist them. And take the other two and twist them. So, do this. Kind of like shielded, twisted, unshielded, twisted pair. There we go. Twisting them up, folks. Then we'll take these two, twist them up. Looks like we'll put these two in first. Then we can do another test, which is, oh no, we have to wait till we can power the flight controller. Okay, we've done the same thing. We've twisted them up until the point of where we got the joining of the two types of wire. And so now what we're going to do is carefully do what we did before. I kind of want a little less point. A little bit more blunty. A little bit more blunty. It's blunty. I like that, dude. I think that collaboration between, I don't know if you can see this, but this is just sticking, going right into that little groove. That is amazing. I love that. This foam, I like the way this foam just sucks that wire in. I probably should have had more of a twist on it. A more aggressive twisting instead of the lackadaisical. twisting that I did. But once it goes in, there we go. Wow. This is fun. The more you do this, the less afraid you are. I mean, I don't know how much this costs me. Around $100 for this kit. You know, plus all the other stuff. The foam and the plastic, because it's a plastic fuselage, costs $100. I mean, it's not playing around money. For me, it's money. It's real money. So you're more afraid of it than you are when you're building a foam board plane. Look at that. All in there. All in there. The receiver is in there. So we'll take a quick look before I tape it over. And I'll take some pictures. There's the receiver. There's the wiring to the joined part of the fuselage. Then it goes out to the antenna. Me likey. I like that. I like it. Okay. So now what we have to do is tape it up. Tape it up. I think I want to start out with these, like about that long. Okay. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, it sticks. It sticks. Yeah, I don't like that, the way that piece went down. And I forgot to save the end. There we go, folks. The receiver's been installed in the wing. Okay, so we have accomplished what we set out to do. There's many more things to do, but we will get this connected to the flight controller next. And but we're going to cut this live stream off here, and I'm going to prepare for the next thing, which is doing we need to solder the power wires on and the ESC onto the flight controller. This is the power lead for the XT60. It's pretty long. We're not going to use quite all that, but it's going to be quite long because it's going to go around and underneath the fuselage battery thing up to the battery. Underneath the flight controller deck, it should say. Boy, am I happy with that. I think that turned out pretty good. I think it turned out pretty good. There's a close look again. You can see there. The top, that's the plastic of that middle piece, just poking out probably about 2 millimeters. 1.8, 2 millimeters or so. And then the bottom here, that's that same plastic barrel, but the other side. And that's not sticking out all that much. And so I'm pretty happy with this. And I'm pretty happy with the smoothness and my ability to get that in there without screwing up the wing too much. And I'm hoping that R9 Mini receiver performs as well as it has for me before. It's been quite a, it's little tiny. There's my thumbnail for comparison. I mean, look at that. Let's do it in HG instead of right in the corner. Look at that. It's tiny. But it really does seem to perform well for me. And once you get it working, it performs. And I've come up with the formula, as I said. I just flash the same firmware on every one of them. It's not the fanciest firmware, it's not the newest firmware, but it's the firmware that I know works. That's life with R9 for you folks. So with the wing completed, it didn't turn out, I'm looking at it off camera here, but it didn't turn out perfectly straight. It is a little tiny bit cocked, but that's okay. We'll live with it. I could have corrected it before I glued it. Here, I'm going to grab it out again. It seems to be a little bit tilted this way. The top is closer to the fuselage than the bottom. But I'm going to let that slide. That's good enough. It's close enough for me. So the next steps, like I said, will be to fix the pan tilt servo, or the pan servo. Finish wiring up the flight controller so we can power it up with battery power and do all the things we need to do. Test the servos and all that stuff. I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably be sometime in the next week. And just a note about that, I'm not going to have a plan. I'm not going to, I'm just going to do these no warning workshop live streams for now, without a plan, without like a regular time. because I don't have a regular time. And I don't have a life right now where I can do that. I want to do regular live streams. And when all those people being like 3 or 4, I think there were 4 people. But one of them was Mark Hoffman, and one of them was my flying buddy, Andy. And like I said, my son joined too. So I was like very nervous and excited of the possibility of just like live streaming my bullshit from the workshop, and people could hang out, talk iNav. I could get this monitor over here working somehow, or a monitor over here working with my computer. I don't know how I'm going to do that right now because I can't get a 4th monitor working no matter what I try. But I'm going to keep stabbing at it. And then maybe we can have a real, what I miss, and I'm not going to be able to duplicate this or even replicate it or even come close to the fun of that ever. I know that. But what I miss is Matt Ogburn's RC coffee chats. I never got to watch him live because he did them in the morning in his time, which of course that's what he should do. But every morning I would get up, and while I was getting ready for work and stuff like that, I would watch on my tablet. I'd break out the tablet or the phone, and even when I was in the shower, and have the RC coffee chat on. So yeah, I'd like to do something like that if I had enough people watching. Or not. I'm just going to keep doing it even with nobody watching, or one person. Hi, one person. And without warning, we're going to do it. We're going to call them No Warning Workshop live streams. That's what they are. Very plain and boring name. Very plain and boring person. But I like it. So we're going to just cut out. And like I said, next time we'll do the Keith Bonafide Pirate mod on the pan servo. Just look how that fits in there perfectly. This is Volantex. Volantex foam isn't quite as nice as the Sonic model maybe, but one more note. This is for the ground station with the PowerPlay DVR. I should talk about that sometime too. This is for the extra additional monitor to power that. This is the TBS Unify Pro that I'm thinking of putting on the Ranger 2000. Not sure yet. Okay, we're really going to cut this off now. 1 hour, 47 minutes. So yeah, 1 hour and 47 minutes. So we're going to just cut it off. It was awesome to have everybody watching, and I would like you to watch again. Thanks for watching.